Hey, everybody. Welcome to our weekly ecosystem office hours call. I am your host, Jinx, and we are joined, as always, by the best and brightest in the Pocket ecosystem. We're going to start things off today with Fred giving us our protocol updates.
Thanks, Jinx. Exciting times ahead, especially with the announcement that we're going to be there. We're going to be there in the very near future. So, just kicking things off, I'll talk about load testing first. We're still working on load testing, but I will say we have some extremely compelling data. The load testing process is some of the hardest work you can kind of do on the tech side. Performance tuning is extremely tedious and takes a lot of investigation, thought, and real deep understanding of how code interacts with hardware. All that being said, beta Shannon testnet has successfully handled 100,000 claims and 12K proofs every 5 minutes. This is a 10x increase in capacity from the Moore's blockchain. So we are very, 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 excited, elated, and we will continue to increase the scale of the blockchain. But this is a phenomenal achievement from the team, and we're celebrating that as we get ready to approach mainnet. With mainnet, we're also preparing, just making sure that governance parameters, validator documentation, every T is crossed, every I is dotted. With this, we also are pushing forward all the different message types and much more information. You may have seen our one pager about the migration process for the different personas. So we're just getting as much information and data out there as possible to end users so that regardless of which path or track you're on in the ecosystem, that you're going to have a very smooth migration process. That is pretty much it on the Shannon end. Jumping into path, we are currently pushing our Canary environment into prod. We've been doing up to 50% in Southeast Asia for some time. It's helping us to identify any performance bottlenecks, issues with the integrations with the portal as a whole platform, not just replacing the raw gateway service. It's helping us to improve our observability and iterate in real time with real data and real use cases on quality of service. So this is very helpful, and we're going to continue. Our goal is to be scaled up in all 3 regions by the end of this week, and hopefully live by the end of next fully, and starting to excise redundant pieces of the legacy portal. Lastly, other Grove updates. I'm just looking at them really quickly. We're still looking for some feedback. If you're a supplier from Beta Testnet, if you haven't given it a whirl, please do, and get back to me with any feedback that you have, or post a GitHub issue. We're encouraging everyone to get their hands dirty on Beta Testnet as quickly as possible, especially with the impending mainnet. Any feedback you get to us, we will prioritize, we will evaluate, and we will take action and try to provide the most possible features we can before we go live on mainnet. That is it.
Thank you, Fred. And I will say that anybody who's not following the migration working group channel in Discord, if you're interested in the migration, if you're interested in the go live, and if you're interested in all the final work that's being done in prep, that is definitely the channel to pay attention to. And shout out to the Grove team, protocol engineering team. That I've seen a number of things that have been handled in close to real time as we tune and prepare for the final cutover. So big love on all that front. Fred, I know we've seen a number of questions around QoS comparisons and improvements from Path over Portal. Is there any plan for publishing some of that comparative data?
Yeah, I did just respond to the question about this in the den. We absolutely will publish data, and we are hoping to have a real-time live dashboard post-live. In one of the previous calls, I think my mic cut out when I was presenting the comparison, the preliminary data. But we are seeing 99% success rates pretty much across the board, some even approaching 100% in short stints. So we that's a massive increase over the existing gateway. I think we sit at about 93-94% aggregate success rate on the existing portal, and those nines make a massive difference when we're talking, millions and millions and millions of requests. So yeah, we will publish something, we will share, and we're hoping to be more transparent in the future.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Also, some of y'all may have noticed that the numbers on Pocket Scan fell off quite a bit in the last 24 hours. We've been working with Nodis. Long story short, the Pectra upgrade just went live on Ethereum, and it broke some things for a number of ETH providers. Nodis fell back to their internal network to continue servicing those relays, so that there was no drop in service for Pocket users, and they are cutting all of that traffic back over now that they've resolved some of the issues that they found from that. So we'll see those numbers recover shortly. Do want to shout out and say thank you to all of the Node Runner providers who have already engaged with Tracy on the F-Chains 2 program. The foundation is going to be taking, for anyone who doesn't know, the foundation is going to be taking a much more active role in making sure that we have broad support for all of our supported chains, and that we're also paying attention to regional coverage as well. I think it's important from a decentralized perspective to have as many providers as possible participating, but from a general network management perspective, some of the same principles still need to apply. We need to have infra in place to support chains that are requested, and we also need to have regional support so that we're not experiencing higher latency in some regions than others due to lower coverage. So by taking a more active role, that's part of what the foundation is doing to help make sure that network coverage remains live. Ramiro, I see you just said we need to have regional staking in Shannon. Then I meant regional from a where the nodes are staked perspective, but do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. I meant it also from a geographical point of view. The only way that we can to separate the nodes depending on their geographical position is by enabling QoS to be divided in the same way. I mean, you can be behind a load balancer that is global, so you will never know where the node is. It is unless you have some sort of way of let them tell you where they are. I mean, regional staking is the only way that we can ensure that we have nodes in some region, because we can say that the quality of service in a given region is at a given level. Because today it's all one global region, and we have no information of the quality of service per region whatsoever. So we don't know where to deploy our nodes because we don't know where the traffic is going. So we will need to have that on chain in Shannon if we want to have global coverage, not only service coverage.
Are you talking about multi-region support? Like GeoMesh?
No. I mean, GeoMesh is the consequence of not being staked for a region. For example, if you have a node and that node should be only for a given service in a given region, let's say North America, then that node wouldn't be tested by an application that wants nodes in Europe. Because we don't have that today, we have to do GeoMesh. We have one node that is staked for Ethereum, for example. It's based somewhere in the globe, but you get requests and you get judged and you get measured in QoS from all over the world. So your node goes back to the bottom of the table in quality of service because it's not at the same time in every place on Earth.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're saying that that any node being able to answer any request from anywhere can result in lower QoS if it's being pinged from a farther away application. But then doesn't that also create the situation where regional clustering could occur and lower QoS in general could be delivered to an underserved region?
That will happen regardless of we put that visibility on that or not. I mean, today you don't have any nodes in South America, for example. And that wouldn't change if we have that clear on chain that there is no one staking in South America, because there is no traffic there. So it's a matter of having visibility on chain and do not push node runners to recreate mesh code once again, because what will happen today is that someone will end up recreating a mesh client for Pocket Network, and well, it will be the same story as we had with Morse all over again. And that would be solved by a simple on-chain parameter, and it will help also node runners to know where they want to deploy. If you have lots of relays in Europe, why would I deploy a node in North America? The traffic it's another place, so it will be best for me not to deploy and try and then scrap all my infra and redeploy in Europe. It will be easier if I could just go and see how many relays are there in the region and simply stake there.
And Breezy's added, regional staking in Shannon was supposed to be enabled in day one. What happened to that? I thought that was an approach to be implemented to ensure QoS, and any attempt at reproducing mesh was supposed to be penalized.
Just a minor note here, Jinx, if I can.
Yeah.
If you think about what Ramiro is explaining, we will not need even the metric of the gateway, which is needed today to know where the application are receiving the traffic, because the applications for this kind of regional staking will need to be staked for some region too. So just checking the normal on-chain metrics, we will know where the relay are, and then the node runners will know where they should place their nodes. So nothing special will be needed here to discover where the nodes and the chain need to be deployed. Reducing the infra cost for people that is like placing Ethereum in many places to try to receive the most amount of traffic possible. Because you will know that data will be on chain.
Well, Fred said, how can you cryptographically verify the geolocation of a node? If that's a parameter setting, that can basically be set to anything by the staking node runner, right?
Yeah, but you don't need to verify where it is. I mean, if I put a node in Europe and I stake for North America, I will get crappy QoS and I will be starved and I will unstake. So it's an economical alignment that we are seeking here. We are not telling you we have so many nodes in Europe. It's only that if you want to play in Europe, you can place a node in North America, but you will be at the back of the line in quality of service probably, because you will have to go through a whole ocean to get to your node. We don't need to verify. We only need to make information available for node runners so we can deploy more I'm missing the word. So we don't waste resources.
It sounds like that would be an exclusion list, right? If I'm saying that I'm in Europe, then I would be looking at that in any query against a European node, I would perform well if I'm there and not if I'm there. But if I'm saying that I'm staked in North America and it's a query for Europe, then I'm automatically excluding myself from that query.
Yeah, exactly. You could restake your node with the same node if you want multi-regional. Like for example, stake your node in North America and Europe. In one of them, you will have better QoS. You will have better QoS in the region that your node actually is. In the other one, well, you can be there, but you will know that you will be at a disadvantage against European nodes. But that's on you.
Got it. And Fred adds, Path doesn't care about geolocation, users don't care about geolocation, gateways don't care about geolocation.
Oh yeah, they care about geolocation, and they know it. That's why they have dashboards internally, surely, for knowing where the traffic is coming, and they surely had at some point gateways in different regions of the world just for this. So where the traffic is, it matters. You can say whatever you want, but it matters as long as it is fast. And to get fast, you cannot compete against the traveling speed of data from North America to Europe, for example. Putting a node in Europe for serving European traffic is the right thing to do.
I'm just going to comment very briefly because I feel like we've beat this horse to death too many times. There's just pulp on the ground at this point. I can, from our own internal data, reducing the net geographic regions across the globe decreased latency for all users. Users do not care if the node is in their backyard or if it's in Japan. They only care that they get the best and fastest response. We've also spoken to the fact that a good chunk of latency when you're doing a data intensive operation is actually on the compute side. So much so that very often when we experience traffic spikes on our gateway that are in the EU, we actually see a traffic spike both in the US East and the EU regions because they're getting equal speed from both regions. The travel time to the US might be getting computed faster. So the TLDR here is that the actual end users do not care. It is a superfluous piece of data. What they care about is getting the best and fastest response always. And so geolocation is from all intents and purposes of the gateway, irrelevant.
Okay, so why did aligning our nodes to the data that we could get from you at, I think 2 years ago made a real difference on how many relays we got because we reduced the latency. So how you explain that moving our nodes actually from some place to another resulted in more nodes if you are targeting for higher QoS? It was some big.
There is no doubt, Ramiro, that if you were able to stack the user, the gateway, and the node all in the same house, that you would have the best possible end user experience. However, when you have a distributed set of end users who very often are aligning their own, workloads in EU Central, US East, and APAC and Singapore, then they're closest to the gateway. And then when you realign your node to that, then you're also getting closest to the gateway. The actual end users consuming those services might not be in Singapore, they might be in South Korea. And so, yes, that is the best and fastest that they can get at that point. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between where the end user is located versus where the service is located versus where the node is located. Like all of these stars have to align to get the perfect outcome. And that's kind of the idea of permissionless Pocket, right? Is that you might see a niche market in Guam and might be the one to provide a service to the users in Guam and charge a premium and be able to outcompete in Guam against everyone else. But for the generic use case, the best case is to just provide in the major geo regions and be very flat. It streamlines your operation and it makes everything the most accessible to the most users.
So you're saying that you don't want this extra data because for you it makes no sense. But if I'm an app and I have the ability to test different regions and push traffic divided by region, I have one application in Shannon. I stake it for every geo region in POKT. Then I start trying and I found that some of them are better than others. I can then simply, without needing to test quality of service, go directly into a specific region. That's only more value to the application. And it's more value to no runner. You might say it's irrelevant for your use case, okay, for your use case. But this data, it's important for everyone, in my opinion. And
The problem here is the side of Fred, which is just looking from the path perspective or the gateway perspective, which they deploy across the world, they receive requests, whatever the user is, they don't care. It's okay. They try the nodes, that is okay. They sort for the better QoS, that is okay too. But for you get the best QoS, you need the nodes to be in that place. And the node right now, due to a lot of things we already discussed many times, we don't know where the relays are coming. We need to do some kind of magic, or I don't know the word in English, but we need to place here, see if we get the relays, or place there and see if tomorrow if we get enough relay, and try to some kind of Ramiro, adivinar. I don't know the word. So we need
Eliminate.
to guess that is the word. We need to, as no runner, we need to guess where the relay are coming. But using some of tiny property on the stake for nodes and apps, no one need to guess because the app will be staked for a region. The node will be staked for the region. The session will be filtered, like Jinx mentioned, by that region. So I can place a node in a region based on on-chain data that you don't need to add anything else. The stake of the application and the node just need to have a tag where the region is, which region that will be. So using that tag, you will be able to know which applications, how many relays. No one need to be guessing where they need to place the nodes to provide the best QoS for the gateway, which result in a best QoS for the user. But I understand you are just thinking as path, as gateway, yes, but a gateway without the node is nothing. So you need to take care about the node runners and what we need to provide you the best QoS.
I have to jump to the Infura call here in just a minute, but my final comment will be most of the traffic comes from a handful of gateways, and we have been extremely transparent as to where the geo regions are that we support. So there shouldn't have ever been any guessing. In fact, we collaborated with Ramiro directly on the condensation of our regions. So understand that there will be permissionless demand, but yeah, I think that you are going to have to guess and check for the interim. But I think that there will still be the major gateways that are aligning, and you might have to work some social coordination rather than on-chain coordination if you want to service a very small gateway.
Or, well, it sounds like that's something that could potentially be discussed more in the forum. So if somebody wants to, put up a thread there or something and work through the specifics of that technical implementation, then you are certainly welcome to do so. I was preparing to hand off to Tracy to talk about the F-Chains 2 program, so we will shift to that. Tracy, do you want to give us an update on where things are and who you're still talking to or need to talk to?
Yes. So first, thank you for everyone that's reached out. There's been a few that have reached out that have provided me with the info that I asked. So just to kind of go over this real quick, whoever hasn't read the forum post in the ecosystem, we're going to be, as the foundation, we're going to be staking nodes with node runners on high traffic chains and low traffic chains to help with the to help keep the F-chains alive. So if you are interested in the foundation staking nodes with you, please reach out to me, and I will let you know what information I need. The program so far is going well. I have meetings with people today and Friday, and there are, I believe there's 9 node runners at this time that have reached out and provided the information. So far so good. Would love to get more people involved, whoever's interested. Any questions on the F-chains? Nope. Okay. If you do, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.
In the chat, that said, when F-Chain 2 programs start?
So the deadline to get in touch with me is May 28th, and we will be staking the chains within a couple of days, or staking the nodes with the node runners a couple of days after that. So we're looking at June 1st, let's say.
Perfect. And other questions? I see Breezy typing still. Oh, I don't know what will happen, but as a node runner, I wish to position myself to yield rewards from all gateways to maximize my return. Got it. Miss Kitty asks, is F-Chains 2 going to be on Shannon? Yes, that's moving forward, that's going to be the long-term program. The foundation will take an active role in maintaining chain support for a variety of chains across the network and in spreading them out among all providers who wish to participate. Sorry. So will Shannon go live happen after or before F-Chains 2 is implemented? That really just depends entirely on when the final cutover is, but it doesn't really matter to us from a foundation staking perspective. We are already setting up for support for the program. So even if for some reason it pushes past June 1st, we're still going to be staking on those chains. Ambassador? Are you muted or unmuted on purpose, Ambassador? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. All right. So, Lowell, finally, on our agenda for today, do you want to present where your app is? Lowell? I saw you unmute for a second, but now you're muted again.
Oh, sorry. Got an
There
issue
we
with
go.
my mic. Hi everyone. We've been working in the following page. I'm gonna show you quickly. It's been something that we've been cooking in the backyard, so we can have like an idea of what's gonna look like the migration from at least from a user perspective. Our focus with this page is basically that users can easily like migrate their accounts or their bulk accounts using this interface, as you can see. And we are still iterating around if we have to request both of the keys, right? Because the signing message right now needs both of the keys. the Morse code, the Morse key and the Shannon key, or if we just like provide one and generate one automatically and move those funds automatically on that new account. I'm gonna show very quickly all the views that we have right now. They are still not connected to the backend. We are still doing some sorry, what those sorry, we are doing some changes on the backend, and we are we're iterating if we connect this to our backend or the backend that already PocketScan is working on, in order to provide the best tooling for runners and for users. Right now, we are focusing just on the users in this case, and yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna go directly to the individual import. As you can see here, you can just put the key file, and you can select Morse on Shannon key. We're gonna provide like a button where, okay, I got my own Shannon key, and then you can provide this Shannon key, or if you don't want to provide your own Shannon key, we can generate it for you. And here's the bulk import where you can. We wanna create a specific format, so we can have like a bulk import for Morse and Shannon. And once you bulk import it, like this is the idea behind where you can see if it's an app or it's not. I know there's a process separated for an app, a validator, and a service. So we're just gonna focus right now on just sending funds, and then later, just on sending funds right now, and see if we can also provide tool for relay miners as for the moment. Again, PocketScan has something working on already, so we may offer or we connect to them with that backend, or we offer ourselves, or we end up like giving the user the option for it. One last thing is that I know there's a concern with the security concern of the keys, where the keys are located or they are saved. We are going to release this locally as well. So if people just want to run it locally, they can just like, spin up this page. They will have the local host, and they can connect to RPC, right, on their self or one publicly to make the migration. So yeah, so this is the idea, to release this locally and maybe release this in web. We want to be very careful on doing our test in web so everyone feels safe, right? But we want to do a release locally so people can, if they feel comfortable doing locally, then have that option. So that's everything on our end. Are there any questions, any feedback? We're gonna provide a form and send the link. Yeah.
Hey, Lowell, one quick chat. I appreciate doing the local deployment piece. Two, it would be good if we can get to make this look as official as possible, just to get the new branding in place. I know I'm speaking probably on behalf of Jinx and ahead of him, and I know this is just you're almost out the gate, but before we kind of go ahead and announce and send it to all the various stakeholders, it'd be good if we get to the new logo, new color scheme, etc. That's it. Everything else, I'm excited for this. So thank you.
For a beginning for talks.
Yeah, if you need updated logos, let me know. We can certainly send those across. And I agree strongly. The ability to deploy locally, I think, will make a huge difference for a lot of folks, especially if you have a large number of nodes and want to make sure that you have maximum control over the conversion process.
And then today.
And we will be seeing the presentation from PocketScan next week with the latest version of Igniter, which also supports the conversion process. And I believe, Jorge, correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe the Soothe wallet is also going to support that for individuals. Is that correct?
We do not have enough time right now to support the stake visually, but we are supporting the signing of it. I will see if the guide can have, but not for the next week, because the stake needs so many properties from the provider side. So that is why we do not think doing the stake on the wallet is a nice thing, and you will need to be doing one by one. But if that is nice to have, and the community wants or need it, we can maybe add it to the wallet. For the moment, the wallet, the Suit wallet, will allow you to use Cosmos SDK wallets and of course Shannon, and allow you to sign in for any page that allow you sign in or identify. Igniter will be one of those. And with Igniter, you will be able to sign with your Shannon account. You will be allowed to stake, sign in your own transactions as non-custodial, and also will allow you to do the migration process. But in this case, the acquisition of the operator address will be dynamically handled in the same way the stake process does. So probably we will have a good chunk to show you guys on the next call. We will try to release on the next Monday. So I will announce this and we'll share to Jinx so he can forward to everyone. The idea is to work over this and try to get the best for the release of Shannon.
Beautiful. I mean, as far as people who are just holding liquid tokens, though, that conversion will be possible with Soothe.
I think yes, but I need to see because we are working right now just on the nodes. The idea is like you will be connected with your Shannon account, but in the migration feature, you will be allowed to connect a Morse account. So based on that account, we will look for your non-custodial nodes and allow you to migrate those nodes because the migration of the nodes has some tricky steps, like for example, the acquisition of the MACT token for that account because that account need to exist on the Shannon network. That is why we asked Olshanki about the Faucet API. But after that, we need to create the migration transaction, allow the user to sign. That signing will be with the Suit Vault, and that will be delivered to the network. Previous to that, we will acquire the address with the operator. So I think the migration of tokens is almost the same, but we maybe need to like connect the account or do something different, or maybe like inside of the migration section, try to separate in two, one for nodes and one for account, because probably the flow is different. But we will work on this.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
So, for anyone who's been asking about all of the preparation that's gone into place and where the specific final touch points are in regards to the migration cutover, it is exactly all of these things, not just the completion of load testing and final tuning and optimization of the network, but also in all of the supporting tooling required for everyone to easily complete the migration process. I'm confident that the vast majority of people who are just holding Pocket in wallets or who are staked are not looking to run CLI commands across all of their supported account private keys. So these steps and this tooling is critically necessary to help all of the normies get across the line, which we want to make sure happens in fast order after the snapshot. All right. That covers everything that's on our agenda. We do have a couple of minutes left here if anyone wants to get any additional questions in or comments in before the top of the hour. Yeah, Team Normie. I need my grandma to be able to convert her Pocket from Morse to Shannon. You are also able to type your questions in the sidebar chat if you'd like, and we'll give it just a couple more minutes here. Well, seems like we're good. Thank you, everybody, as always, for attending these calls and for helping us work together towards some of the biggest and most productive changes this ecosystem has ever seen. We're all looking forward to getting it across the line and taking a much deserved breather after this with the amount of work that everybody's put into it. So, big love from all of us for everyone who's participating and everyone who's hung in with us through all this time. We will see you again, same time next week, same channel.